What's up, y'all? Y'all already know. Good morning, NBA community. We back at it. It's Monday. Y'all already know how we give it up, man. Y'all are now rocking with the best, man. Welcome back, y'all, to the Best of Seven Sports Talk. Seven Mitchell. I'm in the building. Y'all are in the damn building. Let's get right into it because we got some things to talk about in the National Basketball Association, man. If you guys are new to the platform, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to your favorite videos. Subscribe to this channel. Daily content when it comes to the NBA. And I'm going to get on y'all nerves all week this week. I promise you. I'm really trying to build the channel and I'm trying to get some things going. So I'm really going to need your guys' help and support this week, especially, man. So let's get the word out here, man. Let's go ahead and share the video. Let's get everybody in tune with the Best of Seven Sports Talk, man. I'm looking forward to a lot of daily content for the NBA to bring to you guys, man. So salute again to each and every one of y'all, man. Y'all already know how we give it up, man. God first, y'all already know. Top of the morning, G. We at it, and we got to get started with some NBA news, man. It's a lot really to talk about. Can I get started with a problem that I have? Can we get started there? Cool. We got to talk about this guy, Steph Curry. This pissed me off, bro. This pissed me off. Now, so Steph Curry dropped his all-time starting five. He has Shaq at the 5, Tim Duncan at the 4. He has Kobe at the 3. He has Michael at the 2. And he has Magic Johnson at the 1. That's Stephen Curry's all-time 5. Real solid 5. I mean, you can't argue nor deny that the 5 that he came up with are 5 of the greatest players that we have ever seen in the game of basketball. But y'all know I got to talk to the damn boss. It's like y'all forced me to disrespect Kobe Bryant. Y'all already know how I'm rocking when it comes to LeBron. And it's like y'all are forcing me to disrespect the Black Mamba. And I don't want to. But damn it, Steph Curry, I really got to talk to the bosses, bro. You have, and these guys are active. So I understand that you don't want to say that the guy that you're actually competing against is the greatest of all times, things of that nature, stuff like that. But bro, are you kidding me? How do you manage to put Kobe Bryant at the 3 position for your all-time list over LeBron? This is blasphemous to me, y'all. He got Shaq over Kareem or Shaq over Hakeem. Nah, I'm not jacking that at all. Now, this is Steph Curry's list. So it's not really like a right or wrong situation, but this is out of pocket to me. I'm not putting Shaq before Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm not. Shaq is definitely the most dominant big man that we've ever seen in the game. He has more accolades than Hakeem Olajuwon, but I'm going by the eye test, ladies and gentlemen. And Hakeem Olajuwon, to me, was better than Shaquille O'Neal on both ends of the court. I mean, he wasn't as strong and like I said, as dominant as Shaq. You know, Shaq got it in consistently. You know, when Shaq was in his prime, like Shaq held it down. Went to LA, got 3 championships in a row. Went to Miami, got another championship with D Wade. Like Shaq has definitely solidified himself as an all-time great. Don't get it twisted. But y'all really y'all jacking that Shaq over Hakeem Olajuwon or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Nah, I'm not jacking it. And then you got Kobe. Like, how you got Kobe over LeBron at the 3 position? Steph Curry, I just don't understand this. Now, it's hard to really, it ain't hard for me to substitute. I'm taking Kobe out. If Kobe can't surpass Michael at the 2 guard position, that's on Kobe. And Kobe wasn't no point guard, so he ain't gonna get it to 1. But I'm telling you, I cannot believe that Steph Curry had Kobe over LeBron at that position. Justin in the building, Jay said Kobe would get his ass ate up at the 3. Bro, I mean, come on now. We've watched almost 20 years of LeBron James at this position. Get it popping. Get it popping. And I know Steph Curry got tremendous respect for LeBron, but damn, this to me was jive insane, ladies and gentlemen. I totally disagree with Shaq being at the 5. Tim Duncan at the 4. I don't have a problem with that. Tim was the best 4, I believe, in the league. Kobe at 3, bro, is just ridiculous to me. So I just totally disagree with Steph Curry. I don't know what his angle was with this. And, he could be just being honest. And again, this is just an opinionated list. But Steph know basketball. I'm trying to figure out what actually went into this grown-ass man opting to put Kobe Bryant before LeBron at the 3. That is just crazy. You want to be petty about it? I'll go with LeBron. Now, see, I don't want to be super petty and say LeBron was a better point guard than Magic, because Magic, to me, as a floor general, was the best all time. Court vision like none other. So I don't want to get crazy and say LeBron is a better point guard than Magic. I don't want to go that far. But the numbers do show last year LeBron surpassed Magic in all-time assists, along with surpassing Gary Payton on the all-time steals list, and along with surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the all-time score in NBA history. So Steph Curry not putting LeBron James in his all-time top 5 at these positions, to me, is laughable. And I don't know the angle that he trying to really go. Then I'm looking at the Philadelphia 76ers. Insiders are saying that Joel Embiid to the Knicks absolutely could happen. Now, we talked about Joel Embiid and the New York Knicks, what type of relationship that would be, what type of impact they would actually have. I like Joel Embiid going to New York. The problem is, what the hell would New York have to give up in order to get Joel Embiid? Because the 76ers are clear that they're not getting rid of any stars without getting something in significance back in return. They shopping kind of sort of James Harden, but they making it known they're not going to be trading James Harden without getting a player that's going to keep them in playoff or championship contention. So you look at the Knicks roster, the Knicks playing very well, made the playoffs last year. I think they won their first playoff series in X amount of years. So, they got a lot of upside in New York, but they don't have really any superstars, anybody solidified, no champions, no one has really taken it to that next level. So it's like if this package was to happen, New York would probably have to give way more than needed just to get Joel Embiid, which in result is just going to be like a treadmill run. Because if you don't have the right pieces around Joel Embiid, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just not. Now, on face value, you talk about Joel and Jalen Brunson. Yeah, it's a nice little duo, but that's not going to be enough. I don't think that's enough to even make it to the finals in the East. Damn near every team in the Eastern Conference that was in playoff contention last year has gotten better, at least on paper. Jay say LeBron is the best basketball player ever to play the game. I feel like LeBron has so many performances to remember. LeBron is the damn GOAT, bro. LeBron James is the GOAT. And I don't even really want to have that conversation because to me, it's not even up for debate. But that was just another situation. But, Philly talking about possibly, getting or Joel Embiid going to New York. I think that's like Patrick Ewing 2.0. You know what I'm saying? I do like Joel Embiid in New York, but they going to need more. And who they going to give up in order to get him? Because the Clippers were willing to get rid of Paul George. I don't know if a lot of y'all know, but the Clippers were shopping Paul George behind the scenes to the New York Knicks. And the only reason that trade did not happen is because Paul George is up for that extension on his contract. And the Knicks did not want to offer Paul George that extension. Why? I don't know. If you're talking about Paul George being inconsistent as far as availability, we can have that conversation, no doubt. But Paul George is a great wing player and will be the perfect fit or a perfect addition to me to New York. Playing both sides of the court, like I said, a great perimeter defender, offensively, great wingman. That is exactly what New York needs. And the trade would have involved guys like R.J. Barrett, Evan Fournier, I'm assuming a couple draft picks. Those players are not instrumental to me in the success of New York when you bring in another star. So Knicks could afford to get rid of the players, but they didn't want to actually do the contract extension for Paul George. So when it comes to Joel Embiid, I'm assuming Philadelphia is going to want like the Knicks to give up damn near their whole team. Because James Harden is definitely up for debate. More than likely, he won't be finishing this season in Philadelphia. He might not even start this season in Philadelphia. So you basically hanging on now to Joel Embiid. And is Philadelphia willing to get in straight rebuilding mode? Or are they, if they shop Joel Embiid, what would they be able to get? I can't see them going to New York in a trade and the Knicks giving them something of equal value. I just don't see it. And still allow New York to be a productive team in the Eastern Conference, even with Joel Embiid. I just don't see it. Do I feel like European players are better than American players in today's game? No, absolutely not, Just. I don't feel that way. But what I do feel is that the NBA has an agenda. This global presence that the NBA is trying to build and continue to generate is putting a lot of these international players at the front of the line, only to lose their spot. Like when you think about it, all the American players, for the most part, got to start from zero and work their way up to 100. Like they start from the bottom and they have to climb to the top when they talk about MVP awards and stuff like that. Most of the American players, if they don't have like some type of crazy media presence, they have to really work on it. And I'm not saying that these international players like Giannis and Joel and Luka and Nikola Jokic, I'm not saying that these guys are not deserving of what they receive. But because of this global agenda that I feel like the NBA is doing to try to improve the brand, they are putting these guys at the front of the line, at the front of these conversations, and they have to lose it. And that's what I don't like. It's just like we almost had a situation where Nikola Jokic was a 3-time MVP. Now, he did get over the hump and win the NBA championship last year. But the 2 seasons before that Nikola Jokic won the MVP, he looked pretty pedestrian in the playoffs. And I know the MVP award is a regular season award, but I can't have the most valuable player of my league for multiple years in a row not making some real noise in the postseason. And that wasn't the case with Nikola Jokic. I know they did have a little bit of injury issues a couple years ago, Jamal Murray being down, so he didn't have his full team. But, even with Giannis, if y'all go back and remember when Giannis had won his MVPs, he didn't play well in the playoffs. It was only until Nikola took the reins of MVP did Giannis win his championship. Then you got Joel Embiid, who most people feel like had got robbed for a couple of years of the MVP. He just got his MVP, and look what happened in the playoffs. Like, I feel like you got to put some respect on these guys' name, these international players, Luka Doncic included. I got a lot of respect for the European players. I got a lot of respect for the international players. But I do feel like because of this global agenda that the NBA is doing to try to increase their brand with popularity, they're putting these guys at the front of the line. And I don't like that, bro. So that's what I feel, Jay, when we talk about European players. I don't really have a problem with them, but I do feel like they get a little bit of a break or pass because of the actual agenda that this association is trying to build. Chris Paul says Draymond is I feel sorry for the other teams that got to play against both of us because he's always been very vocal, as am I. Okay. All right. I don't know what that mean though, Chris Paul. Like, first of all, it's been publicized that Draymond don't even like you. I'm pretty sure the feeling may be mutual. So just because you guys do a lot of talking on the basketball court doesn't equate to anything. I don't even understand the significance of Chris Paul being in Golden State in the first place. And then he's trying to be a starter. Like, all reality, bro, Chris Paul can't be a starter in Golden State. Even if you were willing to put Steph at the 2, move Clay up to the 3, and then put Chris at the 1 to start, them guys run around too much off of screens and all that. Chris Paul is too slow. He is definitely the best floor general in the game to me, but his game, his style of play does not fit Golden State at all, bro. He, in my opinion, will slow down that team tremendously. And Steve Kerr talked about an adjustment that the Warriors would need to make, how they would have to play different this upcoming season than they've ever played before. But slowing the game down, in my opinion, doesn't benefit them because Klay Thompson, the Klay Thompson that we have now, catch and shoot guy. He's going to be benefited when you have someone that can run around and get him open shots like Steph has done. He can take some guys off of the dribble, but not like before. So Klay can't afford to be slowed up. And then if you bring in Chris Paul off of the bench to facilitate the second unit, I do like that better. But like, how much impact is he going to have with the reserves of Golden State? It just didn't make no sense to me, bro, bringing him on board. Unless you felt like there was a problem with Steph Curry's availability, if you felt like Steph was going to be injured and you wanted to have somebody backing him up, I could see that. But Chris Paul with the Golden State Warriors, when this trade was announced from day one, it just didn't make absolutely no sense to me. I don't know where they was going with that. But he's doing some talking now. And now he's trying to praise Draymond. And, I just feel like that's cat, bro. And I honestly don't see Chris Paul finishing the season off with Golden State. This thing is going to blow up early. I got Golden State starting off really slow this season. And Chris Paul is definitely going to be a scapegoat. Even if he's not in the starting lineup, they're going to make Chris Paul a scapegoat. So, I definitely anticipate him leaving Golden State. I just don't see that happening. I don't see it working. And I don't know what the decision making was behind that move in the first place. Golden State is going to be interesting this upcoming season. They're going to be like the Lakers in 2022. I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. The Lakers did start off last year slow. I think LA started off, 2-10 to start the year off. They was able to get rid of Russell Westbrook, and they was able to make that adjustment mid-season, and they were able, to get to the Western Conference. So the Lakers made the key adjustments led by Rob Pelinka in order to get them over the hump. But in order for them to repeat, the Warriors to repeat that, you're talking about now the team that you're going into training camp with is not going to be the same team that you're ending with. And that's what I expect, because I just don't see how this team, the nucleus of this thing, makes sense, whether you're starting Chris Paul or bringing him off the bench. This organization, to me, is a fast-paced organization. If I'm not mistaken, as far as pace go, Golden State was second in the whole league last year in pace. So you're bringing an element of efficiency to Phoenix with Chris Paul, but you're slowing everybody down. And then you got to worry about Chris Paul's availability once you get to the playoffs. So I never understood what they were thinking bringing Chris Paul into the fold, bro. It just doesn't make sense. And I feel like, sooner than later, he's going to be out of there. I'm going to keep it real. It just doesn't make sense to me. I hear him capping for Draymond, but like I said, everybody know these guys did not get along. And Draymond in himself is a problem for Golden State, if you ask me. I think his time is up. But, as you can see, they not going to be getting rid of him no time soon. Then I saw something on social media with Paul Pierce. He's still talking about Dwayne Wade. So Paul Pierce take the social media and he said, I never compared myself to D Wade. I was asked a question, how would you answer if you was me? I would never disrespect him. He is an all-time great. All I'm saying is the narrative surrounding me would be different if I was lucky enough to play with all-timers earlier in my career. Same could be said about Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Melo, AI. The narrative would definitely be different. Is his resume better? Of course. But this is not about me comparing myself to him. It's just GOAT players out here where the narrative will be different. It's given types of teammates. Let me pull the rest of this up. It's given the same types of teammates, Grant Hill, Chris Webber, is all I'm saying. D Wade, much respect. That's not what I'm on. So this has been a situation that has been going down for at least a year. This is not the first time that we've witnessed Paul Pierce go at Dwayne Wade. And a lot of people feel like Paul Pierce is a big hater and he has no argument when comparing himself to Dwayne Wade. I'm gonna be honest. I have to be real. Paul Pierce scared me on that basketball court. Like, I was afraid of Paul Pierce in some points of a game. Like, he was just that dangerous to me with the Boston Celtics. Dwayne Wade, always been respected, always been one of the best two guards in the league. But I never had that fear factor from Dwayne Wade that I had from Paul Pierce. Like, in Paul Pierce, he was around, Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. So that helped put or instill some of that fear or concern. But, Paul Pierce is dangerous. Paul Pierce he was a great player. You know what I mean? And like I say, he just was one of those guys that, you got to kind of be like, yeah. Dwayne Wade, to me, I wasn't afraid. I never watched Dwayne Wade and looked at him like, yo, this guy's a straight. I don't want to say killer because he definitely had his moments. But Paul Pierce, that Kobe mentality, that Mamba mentality that everybody talk about, that killer instinct that Michael had and Kobe had and stuff like that. Like, I get a little bit of that. I've gotten a little bit of that from Paul Pierce in his career. I never got that from Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? And then Dwayne, he won the championship in 06 with Shaq, right? After 2006, up until LeBron came in 2010, like, Dwayne Wade he was still doing his thing, but they wasn't no threat. Miami was no threat at all. We were seeing first round exits or just no playoff appearances at all from Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat. So when I compare Paul Pierce and Dwayne Wade, I don't like the angles Paul Pierce be taking. And it's going to be kind of hard because, D Wade is just a fan favorite. Paul Pierce is a villain. So by default, you're going to have guys rocking with D Wade and not really rocking with Paul Pierce like that. But I think Paul Pierce was better than Dwayne Wade. I know people probably may disagree, But I think Paul Pierce was better than Dwayne Wade, not skill wise. Dwayne, the flash, being able to slash, like skill wise, Dwayne Wade was a problem. Athleticism, crazy. But just getting into somebody's head, being a clutch player, game winners, just being a dog. And I hated it. I hated it from Paul Pierce because I'm a LeBron fan. But I'm going to be real, bro. I think I like Paul Pierce better than Dwayne Wade overall. Dwayne Wade has had a better career than Paul Pierce, hands down. I agree. And not only because of hardware, because Dwayne has what, 3 championships to Paul Pierce is 1. Not only because of that, I've watched Paul Pierce go to I've watched both him and Dwayne Wade go to other teams when their prime was over and just not really hold a lot of weight or a lot of impact. Skill set wise, I think Dwayne's bag is much greater. But if I have to draft somebody, if I have to pick somebody on my team and we're talking about in their prime, I think I'm probably going to go with Paul Pierce, bro, over Dwayne Wade. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but that's just how I'm looking at that, man. I think skill set wise, D Wade is better. But if I got to pick one, Paul Pierce is who I'm going with. I'm sorry. Gilbert said, I walk into a locker room late and I was like, yo, I just fucking scored 60, bro. 60 on Kobe. Coach said yes, and we won the game. Man, after the game, you know how much. Yo, this guy Gilbert is so funny, man. I really enjoy Gilbert's podcast. Austin Rivers on Dame's trade request. What Austin Rivers had to say. If you were a free agent, then you could go choose where you want to go. This started with James Harden and Ben Simmons, and all these guys doing this ish. It's bad for the league. Oh, boy. Here we go. Does he have a point? Does Austin Rivers have a point? Because basically what he's saying is that if you are a free agent, then by all means, you got all the rights to do whatever you want to do. But the superstars in the league are taking control and putting things in their own hand, and guys are leaving early, and he feel like it's messing up the game. I disagree. I think LeBron, even though LeBron had played out all his contracts, LeBron going to Miami really changed the narratives on players and how they are taking more control over their career. Kevin Durant, when he went to Golden State, he was a free agent. But you see Kevin Durant, when he went to Brooklyn, he demanded a trade and got to Phoenix. James Harden, getting out of Houston, going to Brooklyn, then going to Philly last year. Now looks like James Harden is looking to get his way to the Clippers without finishing, his deal. It does give you cause to pause when you see a lot of superstars and stars not really sticking it out throughout their contract. But I don't think it hurts the game because the game nowadays is generated, at least off the basketball court, by storylines and narratives and, what the media is able to put together. And no matter where James Harden go or some of these guys decide to go, it's always going to be a topic of discussion. Austin Rivers, to me, I think in this scenario is just a hater because Austin Rivers to me is just a hater because he wasn't never good enough to take full control over his career. He wasn't great enough to be in a contract and demand a trade if things wasn't going well. So his approach to this whole situation to me is just null and void because you're not that guy. And then you want to compare Damian Lillard into the equation. Everybody know how loyal and committed, Damian Lillard was to the Portland Trail Blazers organization. And let's be honest, What the hell has all that commitment and loyalty done? Because Portland still got this man under contract. They still haven't traded him, and they're not going to trade him to the destination that he wants to go unless they get the right package. And to me, I think that's crazy. And usually this is what a team does. You have to look out for what's best for the team. By default, Portland should be doing what's best for them. But in all reality, there's nobody that you're going to get from the Miami Heat. There's nobody that you're going to get even from the Brooklyn Nets if the Brooklyn Nets get in a three-way trade. That's going to put Portland in a better position or space than they currently in. You're going to have to rebuild regardless. So why not show the guy who's been committed and loyal to you all this time a little bit of respect? This is just a business, but it doesn't matter. Damian Lillard has been one of the most loyal guys, one of the most committed guys. He's always even shunned the whole big three and joining the super team stuff. But now his back is truly against the wall, and Portland, to me, is in rebuild mode. You're not going to get any stars or superstar players that's going to come to the city of Portland and build for the next couple years. Like, that's just not going to happen. So why not put Dame in a position where he actually could be successful? I think Portland is a little bit wrong in the scenario with Dame not just getting the trade done and, allowing him to just move on. Because you don't want to start training camp with Damian Lillard as a Portland Trailblazer, knowing that he's not going to be on the team. What does that do for guys like Scoot Henderson and Simon and the rest of those young guys in Portland? You don't want any players coming into training camp that you pretty much know is not going to be on your roster. I think that it just hold back so much growth of these young players that Portland is going to need eventually. Bobo going to Phoenix, I did like that. I like that move. Well, I think that's really basically all I really wanted to talk about this morning. I got another show coming up later on this afternoon, but just had a couple of news and stories that I kind of wanted to chop it up with. We got a dope live stream coming up this afternoon. So you guys make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so y'all do not miss out on today's live stream, man. I'm Seven Mitchell with the Best of Seven Sports Talk. About to get up out of here. Just wanted to kick it with you guys for a few minutes, talk a little bit of the NBA news, man. Like I said, we're looking to really build. So if you guys can contribute to the network, we definitely would appreciate it. We're going full force and we're going hard when it comes to dropping this daily NBA content. So get in tune with the Best of Seven, and I will catch you guys later on this afternoon on our next live stream. It should be an interesting one because we got a very interesting topic coming up later on today here at the Best of Seven. So make sure y'all subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will catch you guys this afternoon back here live on the Best of Seven, man. Y'all be safe. Happy Monday, and I'll catch you guys back in a few. Peace.